Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to KVM Airlines. Now before we start today, I want to do a big shout out to those of you who have made comments. Some of you have gone to an extra effort. You've taken the time to list out not all the things I'm doing wrong, but helpful hints, tips and suggestions on how I can improve. And boy, I appreciate that because it does take time. So it's wonderful to see, because not only can I read it and learn something and improve, but those of you who look at my videos, you can scroll down the comments, read some of those, and I'm sure you will learn something as well, because it's all very good stuff. So check some of my previous videos through those comments. So a big shout out to you guys who have done that. Really appreciate it. Now you may not see any improvement on this video. I filmed it a couple of days ago, but I have taken notes of some of the things that you have suggested I do, some of those details, and I've written them down, and I'm going to slowly work on them over the next few videos. I'll put some practice time in and I'll work on those details. So you only see a few subtle changes from time to time, a few subtle improvements, but I will slowly get better with my flying skills. But for this video and maybe the next couple, you'll be my normal self, you know, bungling and bumbling my way through a regional flight in this 737. Like I've said, I'm only here to have fun and fly from A to B. And the only real value that this channel has really is for myself. I can play back and watch my own videos in future years. I can see how I enjoyed the simulator, see how silly I was. But for others, maybe it has value as entertainment. That's entertainment and amusement. You can laugh at, have some fun looking at a guy who's flying a 737 who has absolutely no idea what he's doing. But it's all good fun. There's one thing I do on this channel that's better than any other flight simulator channel I've ever seen on YouTube. And that is, we have a heck of a lot of fun. Alright, well today we're flying from KMDW, Chicago Midway International, a short hop over to Oakland County International, KPTA. And as you can see, in my normal lazy sort of manner, I have programmed everything in the flight simulator menu. So my flight path and my ILS coordinates, frequency and heading has automatically been transferred into my radio and my computer. So it's all updated and ready to fly. There's nothing left to do on this page. Now feel free to take a screenshot if you want to follow along with your airplane and do the same flight as I am for KVM World Travel Airlines. Well, that's enough said. Welcome to the new subscribers as well. Hope you're having fun here, and it's time to head over to Midway International and climb aboard our airship. Right, let's head down onto our aircraft, which is just down here. Going to say hello to the cabin crew, greet all the cabin crew. They do a wonderful job. Morning guys and girls. The other thing I like to do is have a quick walk through the cabin, make sure everything's clean, tidy and doki-dory. We've got a few KVM airline staff on board today, traveling back to Oakland. Okay, so let's get into my seat and buckle in. Now my co-pilot has already very, very kindly gone through all the checklists and the startup procedures and got everything warm and working. So that is great. Thank you very much, John. We have retracted the air bridge because all the passengers are on board and settled and strapped in. So I think we are ready to get this trip underway. Right, we have started our pushback now, and as soon as we get back away from the gate, we'll go through the startup procedure, start up the engines, or my co-pilot will. I like to leave him to do a little bit of the work, you know, it's more realistic. rather than trying to show everyone how clever I am and do everything on the whole plane all by myself. It's not necessary, it's not realistic. So by pressing Shift E, it's saying to my co-pilot, hey, do a little bit of work for a change, okay? I'm not going to do everything. I'm going to handle about everything else, so all I expect you to do is start up the jolly aeroplane. Now our engines are starting up, and that is a good thing.
The captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you haven't already done so, we request that you store your luggage and take your seat so we can have an on-time departure. For those passengers seated in a designated exit row, you may be called upon to open that exit in the event of an emergency. Please refer to the safety briefing card or the exit row information card located in the seat back pocket to ensure you meet the exit row criteria and understand the information. After carefully reviewing this card, if you believe you could be injured, do not wish to, or cannot perform the functions listed, please notify a flight attendant. At this time, we also request that you install your electronic devices until we are above 10,000 feet. I will notify you when it is safe to bring these items out for use. If there's any question as to what device you can use on board today, please refer to the Welcome Aboard section of your My Magazine. Thank you for your attention.
Right, we are at the holding point, and we're going to go through a little process I like to do before I take off and check all our control surfaces. Make sure everything's working, everything is good. Our rudders at the back, yep, rudders are all good. Our speed brakes, yep, speed brakes are all good. So we're all set to taxi out onto the runway. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to go here and check my flight control panel. This is where I spend most of the time when I'm flying, and we're going to turn off the auto throttle, turn off the flight director. Speed initially we're going to set that at 250 knots initially when we climb out. Going to turn on the LNAV. Altitude is 10,000 feet initially, and then we're going to climb from there. I think we're going to cruise at about 25, somewhere between 25 30,000 feet today. Now the other thing I'm going to do is to go outside the plane and check we've got our flaps down, put our flaps down 3, and also our trim. Going to bring our trim down. Still haven't got used to this throttle. I thought I was used to it, but it still takes a bit of getting used to. It's not as smooth as the throttle in Flight Simulator X. It's all on or it's all off, and it's just very difficult to get the hang of the throttle. It works fine most of the time. Once you get the hang of it and you practice and play around with it, you can use it okay, no problem. But it certainly isn't smooth. It's not just the 737, by the way. It's all the planes in Microsoft Flight Simulator. The throttle is just not smooth. Could be just me, but here we go. Okay, slowly bring the throttle up. There we go. Keep the plane in the middle of the runway. Now I'm not going to touch the joystick at all. I'm just going to let the plane lift off by itself naturally without actually touching the joystick. Unless it doesn't look... There we go, we're lifting off now, and I have not touched the joystick at all. Positive rate, gear up. Now I am going to use the trim buttons to adjust my climb rate. I don't want it too steep. Now the plane is turning to the right, so I'm going to touch my joystick to keep the wings level as we climb out. The nose is pitching up a bit too high, so I am playing with my trim again, and I'm using my joystick just to try and keep the wings level. But it's the trim that is actually controlling the climb out. We're going a little bit fast, so I bring my speed down, raise my flaps. Okay, I'm going to turn the autopilot on. Turn on my auto throttle, turn on the flight director. And we're going to set our altitude, 10,000 feet, that's fine. We're going to set our speed now. Speed, turn speed mode on. For some reason we haven't got our speed digits in there. It's not showing any speed numbers, not sure about that. But let's turn on our vertical speed and get a nice positive rate of climb. I'm going to set that at 1,950 for our climb out on the virtual speed. Here we go. We have our numbers, digits showing up now here on the speed display. So I've got that set at 250. Okay, so let's check auto throttle on, flight direct on, speed set at 250 knots. The speed mode is on. LNAV is on, vertical speed is on, and the autopilot is on. So I'm not touching the joystick at all. I do not need to touch the joystick or the throttle for the rest of the flight because I'm using the autopilot to control everything and keep everything nice and smooth. Downtown Chicago, just over there. Meigs Field, the little airport just down there on the coast.
Once you reach a comfortable cruising altitude, ladies and gentlemen, the flight attendants will be in the cabin to offer you a cocktail beverage of your choice, along with breakfast. There are 5 flight attendants on board today, primarily for your safety. If there's anything we can do to make your trip more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. I would like you to sit back and relax and enjoy.
Thank you, Anne. That is wonderful. We're going to be serving some snacks on the flight today. Just light snacks. Maybe some crayfish, you know. Corn fritters. Corn fritters, probably a Kiwi thing. Some of you guys have probably never heard of those. Sweet corn made into pancakes. Corn fritters, we call them over here. A bit of a classic Kiwi snack or dish.
Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck. We're level at our cruise altitude, so I'm going to turn off the seatbelt sign at this time. So you're free to move about as necessary. However, when seated, we would like you to keep your seatbelts comfortably fastened for your safety. We just checked the weather and expect smooth sailing for most of the flight. So for the most part, we're going to stay quiet and let you enjoy the entertainment and service, and we'll be talking with you later on the...
Attention all passengers, we will be serving our in-flight meal shortly with your choice of red or white wine. Please return to your seat so that we may serve you more easily. Enjoy your meal.
Yes, I think I'm going to have a nice fresh cup of coffee and a couple of those corn fritters. Lovely corn fritters, maybe with a bit of spicy sweet chili sauce on the side. Ooh, yeah. That sounds nice. Just going through a bit of cloud here, so we can't see much out the windows at the moment, guys. But it should clear up. As we get a little bit higher, we'll be above these clouds, I think. Here we go. Doesn't that look nice? That is beautiful. 737 looks lovely in the Delta livery here. Our co-alliance airline, Delta Airways. Now we are cruising at 280 knots or thereabouts, and we're cruising at 25,000 feet, so we're just cruising along quite comfortably, quite happily, just above the clouds, out of the rough stuff. So should be quite a nice, pleasant, comfortable trip today. Just like to say hi again to the new subscribers. Every day there seems to be a wave of new subscribers. So thank you. Thanks for your support and coming along for the ride and enjoying the videos, making your happy, positive little comments. Some of you are making little technical suggestions, things that I'm doing wrong, mistakes and what have you. That is great, and I appreciate that because I'm not a techie person. Some of that stuff I care about, some of it I don't. But it is nice to know because there are a few things that I will pick up on, and I will try to improve my skills when it comes to flying planes. So that's the enjoyable part, learning something new. So I may be a slow learner. I may not follow your advice straight away, but please feel free to leave your comments, and I'll certainly read them, take notice of them, and certainly do my best to reply to all the comments from the subscribers. And some of the things that are suggested that are within my mental capabilities, I will try and put into practice and try and improve my skills. If you're having a problem with your 737, and I know some of you are, put it in the comments as well, because if I can't help you, there'll be other people who read the comments who maybe can help you. They may have some suggestions. There are a few very high-techy people who follow the channel, very experienced flight simmers, and I'm sure they're very, very happy to offer a little bit of advice to help out a fellow PC flyer or an Xbox flyer. So leave your comments or your questions or your problems in the comments area. I'm not a techie, so I may or may not be able to help you, but there should be someone else, hopefully, fingers crossed, who can help you with a little bit of advice, or at least share the experience that they've had, which may be, hopefully, be a little bit enlightening for you. Okay, gear down. Confirm, gear down, and locked in position. Now we're clacking a little bit. I predict that's probably because of our flaps. Yes, our flaps are down too low for the speed that we are doing. So let's get our speed down a little bit here. Let's get our speed down to 150 for now. Right, let's see where that takes us. Speed down to 150. There's the diamonds for our ILS approach. They've appeared up there, so that is a good thing. Bring our flaps down a little bit more. Wow, look at this. This is beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful scenery here as we come into Oakland. What a nice place. Lovely. Okay, let's get ready to turn off everything. Now my throttle is turned right down to 0, so when I turn off the auto throttle, my speed won't go up. My speed will actually go down once I turn off the auto throttle and the autopilot. Okay, let's turn off the auto throttle, flight director, and the autopilot. A little bit of nose up here, touch down softly, there we go. That's it. Whoops, whoops, whoops. That's not good. Speed brakes. I don't know what happened there. I'm using the rudders to try and keep the plane in the middle of the runway. And things were getting rather exciting there for a little bit. Right, well, here we are, finally parked at the gate, if you can call it a gate. Looks a little bit weird, there's no terminal. The air bridge starts at nowhere and finishes nowhere, so it's a bit strange. We're going to have to do a bit of exploring around this airport if we're going to make this one of our regular little trips. We need to find out if there's a terminal hiding down that end and where we're going to park each time we come here. So we'll sort that out, I think, before we book this in as a regular flight for our airline. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the trip. Thanks for flying with KVM World Travel. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't mind. Make a comment, and thanks for subscribing. I'll talk to you on the next video. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.